Thank you for tuning in to another fun-filled episode of Main.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What is it about Disney that makes us happy? Is it the magical whistle as your ticket is scanned at the main gate? Is it the seafaring smell of pirate water? Or is it charting a course to a land where you may never grow up? Whether it's singing a familiar song, watching a movie, or riding your favorite attraction for the 100th time, Disney undeniably has a way to warm our hearts, believe in magic, and bring joy into our lives. This is Main Gate Magic, a podcast where we break down and discuss the infectious happiness, delight, and thrill of all things Disney. And beyond! Yeah, sorry about that, folks. If you saw the beginning of this live, we kind of started at the end, so we're going to start from the beginning now. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Main Gate Magic, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It's good to see all the smiling faces. When Irish eyes are smiling. Come on, you know the words, right? No, I guess not. That's probably an older one.
That's it.
How you
That's
guys
all.
doing?
Yeah, that's it. Doing good. I'm a little tired, but that was just because I did a lot of work today on various different things. So
Busy's good. Busy's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
And I know
it is.
Yeah.
and I know you got some plans coming up here that you're like, thinking about. So I mean,
Yeah.
positive thoughts, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. Now, I know. Now, Ryan, you were mentioning to me pre-show that you are Irish, so St. Patrick's Day it sort of speaks to you, does it?
It does. It speaks to me, Irish heart.
Oh, that's so sweet. And I know we assigned some homework last week after the end of last Tuesday's episode to watch Darby O'Gill and the Little People, because that is like the only really Irish Disney movie that I really know of. I did some research and the other stuff that shows up there. I don't think anybody really even knows anything about any otherIrish movies.
I
There's
know
the Disney
there's
Channel movie.
Oh yeah, I was
Oh,
about
yeah.
this. Yeah, and Ryan, I was about to bring that up too.
Okay, so please, before we get into Darby O'Gill, please, why don't you guys regale me with this story here? This series? Is it a series or is it's a Disney Channel movie?
I think it's a DCOM.
Yeah.
And Ryan probably knows more about it than I do, but it's called Luck of the Irish. And I think it's about like a basketball game. Is that right, Ryan?
So it's about a kid who discovers that he is from a long lineage of leprechauns. And, as he...
as one does.
As one does, yes. As
Yeah.
he comes into puberty, those things kind of start to happen. And his, I think it's his grandfather. Yeah. Like they own a potato chip factory and his grandfather like invented the potato chip because he's like, oh, I sliced it too thin. Oh no, how terrible. But yeah, so, he's a high schooler, plays basketball. Who's it? It's Ryan Merriman, I think.
Probably, that makes sense.
Yeah, who, his name is Ryan. How much more Irish can you get?
Right.
But but yeah, and then there's there's the villain essentially is a famous Irish dancer played by oh no, I'm gonna forget his real name. He was Carlton Lasseter on Psych, and I'm
I don't know who that is. I know the show, but I don't know the actors.
He was Lassie. the male cop, Timothy. Oh my God, I'm so
You
upset
can
that
just
I'm
make up a
forgetting
name.
his
We'll
name.
take your word for it.
I totally could, but basically he's kind of like the river dance king, but he is actually like an evil leprechaun, and is trying to take down the other leprechauns. It's a whole thing. It's hilarious, very like 90s, early 2000s, leprechaun lore fighting type stuff, but it's
all centered around
ridiculous.
basketball.
Kind of, yeah. Sort of, it's
'Cause that
kind of like
makes sense.
Teen Wolf, right? Like
Oh, well, I
Teen
like
Wolf
Teen
is about
Oh,
him
right.
becoming a werewolf, but like basketball is a huge kind of motif throughout the movie. So it's sort of
Right.
along those vibes.
Yeah,
Right,
I was
exactly.
in my brain. I was thinking, yeah, it's so similar, premise wise, but I guess
Mhm.
also just like timeline wise when these came out, like the 13th year, because it's like
Yeah.
boy discovers he's a mythical
Oh, a
creature.
mermaid.
Yeah, exactly. And they came out around the same time, I think. So what was
Things
with
I wish I
what
would
was
have
with
known when
Disney
I was
Channel
7.
and like doing all these random things about like lineages of mythical
Yeah.
creatures? It's so strange.
Yeah.
I was never that lucky. I was never a mythical creature when I was a kid. I was
Oh,
just
I
that's a
know.
bummer.
Darn.
I was just a little kid that was slightly overweight and could not play baseball. So hey, there you go. And look where I'm at now. At least I can, at least I'm not overweight anymore. No.
Oh my
Some
gosh.
things have changed.
Some
Still
things
bad at
have
baseball, I
changed. Yeah, a
assume.
little bit. Yeah, I probably. Yeah, I still can't throw. Although I'm getting better at throwing because we have a new little dog, and I'm practicing how I throw her toys because I can chuck it across the yard now, and he goes chasing after it like a bat out of hell. So
Fair.
working on my throwing skills. Let's say hi to some people in the audience right now. Avery's in the house and says hi, everyone. Good to have you
Hey,
back.
Avery.
And yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to you too. May the luck.
Oh.
Yeah. See, Andrew Nelson is in the house as greetings from the dark.
Oh, dark side. The dark side.
Odie Braden's in the house says, I'm 34% Irish. Hi, guys. Yeah, and he will also claim that he has kissed the Blarney Stone twice and has the gift of gab. That's why he can never shut up. He says that to, I think, almost everybody he meets about that.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Avery also says, have you guys ever seen the movie Leprechaun?
Oh, yeah.
think I saw the original, the very first one. And that was enough for me.
With Jennifer Aniston, right?
Yes,
It's
Jennifer
like her first
Aniston.
thing.
And speaking of Star Wars, with Andrew in the house, Warwick Davis, who was also a one of the like the not Wookiee. Come on, Braden, get it together. The Ewok of the
Yeah.
movie
Right.
Return of the Jedi.
Yes,
He was
yes,
Wicket,
yes.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very disturbing movie, and I think the continuation of the series, it just got even worse. But hey, good for them for making it work,
As they do.
Right.
Yep.
I had a feeling that was a horror movie, so no, not me. I can't do horror movies. I've established this.
I was so cute. Okay, I don't know where that came from, but
Probably when you were talking about
when
your
you
past.
were young and couldn't play baseball.
I
Yeah.
guess I don't think I was cute. I mean, he's the dad, so he's he's biased.
There's a slight parental bias. I can attest to that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other things we were going to talk about today is Disney characters that are green, because I titled the show "It's Not Easy Being Green," because there are some Disney characters like the main frog, the main Muppet frog, Kermit the Frog, coined the phrase "It's not easy being green." I think there's even a song about it. And a few other Disney characters that have got it rough, like Disgust, from Inside Out. Ew,
Ew.
let's see, we've got Mike Wazowski from Monsters
Yeah.
Inc. He's
Yep.
he's definitely a green guy, and it's not easy being Mike because he's the one that's got to think of everything. Can we consider Peter Pan green? He dresses in green.
Him and Tinkerbell. I
Yeah.
feel like
I'd
they're a
give
very
them
green
green.
duo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
I
Tink,
wouldn't
I
say-
think is. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say it has to be like, you're fully green skin. I think as long as green is kind of the main color.
Yeah.
Like that you're associated with. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Oh, and we got the little green men, I mean,
yep.
And the green aliens even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
And let's see, who else do we got?
Maleficent?
Okay, good one. Yeah, good one. Maleficent's definitely green. And she's got kind of like a minty colored
minty.
skin,
that's a
right?
good word for it. Yeah.
Minty.
That's what Lisa called this shirt earlier today when I put it on. I'm like, it's the only thing green I got. She's like, it's mint.
It's mint.
But it's mint green. Mint is green.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Kelly green, Forest green. They're all greens.
Go away green.
I'm fine wearing a flavor go away green. And my screen is just loaded with other green characters. I mean, we could even say Tafiti is green, because she's like an island.
For sure.
And there's also, oh my gosh, technically Crush, he's a green sea turtle, even though he's more kind of brown with green hues. We've got, let's see, Rex from Toy Story. We've got the Good Dinosaur. He's green.
Oh, yeah, Arlo. Right.
Yeah. And even Mulan wore a green outfit at one point, so
true.
And the Prince and the Frog. And the Frogster.
And Tiana with her green leafy
with her
dress.
lily pads.
Yeah, exactly. And basically most of her outfits are green, so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pascal and Heimlich.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Heimlich. Butterfly.
Butterfly.
From up here, you all look like tiny little ants. No kidding. Let's see. Avery says there's even Pascal from the movie Tangled. That's green. Yep, that's right.
Yes.
Yep. And he's like one of those little tiny characters I love because it's like he sees everything and he's like so smart, but he also doesn't have a voice. He just has like those little growls that he does every once in a while, and he's kind of like a protector.
Right.
But all these characters that we named, I don't think a single one is really Irish.
No, I don't think so. Another recent one I can think of is Tom the Lizard. Lizard.
Oh, lizard.
Okay, what am I missing here? Why does that sound familiar?
Because it's the meme, but Tom the Lizard's from Hoppers. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Have we seen Hoppers now? I mean, is it?
I have.
Out.
Yes,
you have.
No.
Rating out of 10. What would you give it?
It's really. I thought it was really good. My friends were hyping it up as really funny, but I didn't laugh at anything. Not that any jokes didn't miss. None of the jokes were bad, but I personally wasn't like dying of laughter throughout the whole thing. So yeah, but it was very sweet. Oh, and I guess Mabel, she wears a green jacket, the main character from Hopper, so you can kind of count her too, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Kind of. It's like a navy green. And navy green? No, is that right? No, that's not right. Camo green. Sorry, camo green.
Okay.
Let's go with camo green.
I don't think I've ever heard of navy green before. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben just made up a new color.
Navy blue, green mix. No, but camo green makes sense. It makes more. Yeah, I was thinking military.
Okay.
The army green.
Right. Army green. Yes, thank you.
Oh, army
other
men.
branch of the military.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's where I was thinking. Okay, fair enough.
Odie says the only time he tried smoking, he turned green, so I guess we could count him as a green character.
Fair.
Let's see. TikTok was green. TikTok. Are we talking about the
crocodile? Yeah.
TikTok croc. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite scenes from that movie is when he is in the water and he's got the TikTok is always playing every time that, he's around because it's in his belly and everything. But he's like got his tongue hanging out the side of his mouth and he's splashing in the water going like,
right.
Just waiting for Captain Hook to come on down for the rest of that snack. Oh, wow. Paw from the Jungle Book.
True. Yeah.
And he confirmed Pan wore green. Now, I think to qualify as a green character, you probably have to have green on for I'd say like a majority or if not all of the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of characters that are, I would say, primarily green, like this. So Hulk, he's green, obviously. Gamora,
Mhm.
Jiminy
there-
Cricket,
Good
Pete's
one.
Dragon.
Oh, right, Jiminy Cricket. Yeah. Elliot.
know,
yeah, that's
like-
right.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Elliot.
know, I
Oh
love
my
Pete's Dragon.
gosh.
Oh, Elliot,
Do
I was like,
you?
what is his name? Oh, I love Pete's Dragon. Oh my God.
but wait.
It's a razzle dazzle day.
Okay, now I know exactly what movie you're talking about. I'm like,
It's a
don't tell me you're talking about the
razzle-dazzle day.
remake that they did.
Right, the
Absolutely
original
not.
one.
I
'Cause
would
that-
never.
That doesn't count.
I would never.
Yeah. But yeah,
I did watch
Pete's-
that though.
Pete's Dragon was one of my favorite movies growing up from Disney
Yeah.
because the kid had an imaginary dragon. So it was like one of the easiest things to play as, like when you're out there. It's like you could pretend you have an imaginary dragon too, or an imaginary whatever. It
A
sparked
dragon. A dragon.
imagination.
I swear I saw a
The
dragon.
dragon.
Yeah.
Yep. Lampy was great. Him and the guy who was the oh my god, the
traveling
flim flam
salesman.
man. Yeah, his
Oh
sidekick.
God, what was his name? Oh,
When they were
yeah.
together and they were drunk, they played the
Going into the
greatest
cave?
drunk characters either. It's like, yeah.
Oh.
Just so funny. It was like that classic kind of drunk acting that they did. Oh, hey, like Jiminy Cricket. And you
Yep.
don't get much more greener than the Hulk. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how about Lewis from The Princess and the Frog? Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
those
yes.
two. Yeah.
there's lots of green in that one. Okay.
Mhm.
There is lots of green. And what
And
the
I'll-
Firefly, is he technically green? What is his name? Remy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ray. Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray,
He is.
Ray.
Yeah.
Remy. That's wrong movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot
Remy's
of
great.
villains have like the green kind of undertones to them, even though they're not like primarily green.
Well, you
Words
are
are hard. Yeah, I am. I am very tired.
How do I word?
So like I'm thinking
And the
like
primarity of it all. Yeah.
a primarity. Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking like sequence right at the start of Be Prepared with Scar. He's got like the green.
Yeah,
like,
the green flames.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, inside the cave with the
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
And then oh my gosh, like King Magnifico from Wish, like his like when he switches to villain mode, there's a lot
Yeah,
of green
he
around him
Crushes
too.
the
Yeah.
orbs, whatever they're called, the wishes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
I think if you guys remember in SpongeBob when they create their little evil empire, they title it evil, but it's an acronym and it's every villain is lemons,
yeah, that's right.
but somebody
Really?
changed it to every villain is
Every villain's-
lime because it's always lime green.
Right.
So like
lime
Maleficent's fire
green.
is lime green, Scar's
Yeah.
fire is lime green.
Yeah.
I want to say even Count Frollo at one point he has like lime green around him. Like every
Maybe. Okay.
villain at some point is kind of like shaded in some sort of lime green.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
you know, I was just looking at the Princess and the Frog, Dr. Facilier, and
Yeah.
one of the images that he has behind, like his background is all green as well. He's not wearing
Mhm.
green. It's like
Right.
black and purple with his top hat and everything, but his background is green. So
No, exactly. Yeah, he
Good call out.
definitely they lime green, the color of evil apparently.
Color of
I
evil.
guess, yeah,
At least
Um,
Disney evil.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
Disney evil.
yeah. I haven't forgotten. Yoda is Yoda. You forgot. Disappointed. I am.
Oh, right. Oh, yes, of course.
Sorry.
Yeah,
And
and Yoda.
and Grogu too. We gotta throw him in there because he's getting a movie coming up. So
All right. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and address the Grogu in the room. Have you guys actually seen? Oh, Shrek. Yeah, Shrek is definitely
yeah.
a green one as well, but
I
not
love a Shrek.
associated with Disney. So
that's the wrong company.
I know.
We love
I
a
know.
Shrek though.
So, did you guys watch the Academy Awards on Sunday?
No, I tend to skip the
I did.
Oscars now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so no on Ben, yes on Ryan. Ryan, did you see Grogu in the theater, like in the audience?
No, did I miss that?
I saw it in a
Apparently.
highlight reel on YouTube.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And Sigourney Weaver was giving some kind of presentation with
Pedro.
Pedro
Mhm.
Pascal. Yeah. And, they were doing their little monologue thing. And I forget who was sitting next to Grogu in the audience. It was a blonde lady. I don't know what her name was. I didn't recognize her, but that's no surprise because probably newer actress I didn't recognize. Anyway, she was like, petting Grogu and like, giving him little pats on the back and stuff like that. And Sigourney actually said, excuse me, all, get away from him, you bitch. The infamous line from Aliens. So that's, her little tagline. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm so sorry, Jason. The blonde you're referring to, I just Googled it real quick.
Yeah.
The blonde you're referring to that you don't recognize
Yeah.
is Kate Hudson.
Oh, that's Kate Hudson? Okay. I couldn't pick her out of a lineup. Sorry. I haven't seen enough of her work to actually be that. Sorry. Don't don't judge. Don't judge.
When
All
I
right,
was blonde,
everybody,
she was
grab your
the.
pitchforks and your torches.
How dare you.
Hey, how many times on this show do I make a reference to something older and you guys are just like, I don't know.
But Kate Hudson is your age, right?
Generational gap.
Need you to know.
I
She's
know.
like right in your wheelhouse.
I'm sorry. She's just like one of those I just don't recognize. I'm sorry.
That's Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Is it really? Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I knew that. I may have known
Yeah.
it, but I forgot already. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those things that just like in one ear and explodes out the other. It's
Yeah,
gone for
yeah,
good. Yeah. Oh, and I'll remember that now for a little while, and then you ask me again in like a month or two, you're gonna have to explain it all over again. Yeah.
Fair.
But it's okay. That's just how it is. Let's see.
Right.
Did I see that Kermit the Frog has been on the show The Masked Singer twice? No.
I knew about the
I know
first time
once.
in like the snail shell, but I didn't know he
Yeah.
was on the show twice.
And how does Kermit sing any other way besides Kermit? I used to watch The Masked Singer, but I don't think I remember him ever being on the show. Maybe we missed those seasons or that episode or
I think it was
episodes.
recent.
Was it?
It was more or
was
less recent, I
yeah.
think, but I don't watch the show either. So either they do like some sort of filter on everybody's voice, so that way it's not like super obvious who it is, or
They definitely do, yeah.
okay, then yeah, that's probably it. Then they probably did a filter, or whoever. I mean, I think it's Matt Vogel or whatever his name is. Probably just
like
saying
his
his regular
actual
voice, I
voice.
guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd never know.
Right.
Because I know I've mentioned this before, but I haven't really been that fond of the person who does Kermit's voice nowadays. So I
Yeah.
probably would not have recognized it either way unless he's doing Kermit's and they modulate it like they do everybody else's. I might have still recognized, but
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
But yeah, who knows?
Who knows? All right, so you guys ready to dive into Darby O'Gill?
Yes.
So, okay, I have to say, I did watch this movie long time ago. Probably not when it first came out, because I think it was released in 1959, if I remember correctly.
That's right. Yeah.
Old time ago in a country far away. And the only actors that I actually recognize from the movie is Sean Connery. So he played Michael, the sort of like male love interest of Darby's daughter.
Yeah.
Who I think his name is
Katie. Yeah.
Katie, yes. Yeah.
Famously not Irish Sean Connery.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
no. I mean, definitely Scottish, but he passed off Irish a lot better than most of the other actors that were hired for that movie. The guy that played sort of like the bully, the one that was like the son of the old lady who was like nosy in everybody's business and stuff.
Oh yeah, God, what was his name?
I've got my
I forgot the character's name too, even though I literally just watched the movie this day.
Pony, his name was. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Pony.
Right, because they say it's so little. Pony.
Pony. Yeah, it's like I'm like
Pony.
the entire movie. I'm going like, wait, what are they calling him? Is it Peony? Pony?
Yeah, is it spelled the same as peony? Is it like P?
No,
is
it's
spelled the same?
Pony, like a
Oh,
like
like actual.
horse.
Oh wow.
Like a little pony.
Yeah. Like a pony.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's an
have to
actual
say-
name or nickname, but
that is just his name as the character name. Pony Sugre.
Okay.
Sugru.
Oh, it's Irish.
Sugre.
That's not how it's pronounced, more than likely.
Probably not. I'm definitely going to be butchering some names tonight, so my apologies to those who take offense. But I thought it was interesting because Pony was kind of like a Gaston-like bully, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Pining for the girl, bullying
Yeah.
everybody else, not necessarily handsome, devilish, didn't have like a crowd of other ladies following him or anything like that. But I thought the contrast between him and Sean Connery, who was like the good guy, but looked more like Gaston in this movie than anything else.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, the one looks like Gaston, the other one acts like Gaston.
Right. Yeah,
It was
exactly.
funny.
I guess like it's a better Pony, I guess, there's a better comparison to like Brom Bones, I think. More like
Brom,
that
yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
And yeah, that's a really funny point that you bring up because like I felt like Michael was more like physically aggressive with Katie than Pony was. Like I doubt Pony ever actually like I think they like hug once and that's like on accident, but you know.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, we lost Jason. Yeah, we cannot hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason has become a mime. He's going to mime out. Oh, there he goes. For his first trick, he's going to disappear. And yeah, that's Jason, mime Jason there, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. Like when I was watching the movie, like Pony did feel very Gaston-esque, but I guess it's more Brom Bones when I think about it. So.
Can you guys hear me?
No worries.
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Is your mime act over? I was really enjoying it.
Sorry.
My microphone decided it wanted to stop working all of a sudden. It even popped up a little announcement, but I just had to refresh my screen and it worked. So
Wow.
Again, the luck of the Irish not on our side today.
no,
Yeah.
it is definitely not. I mean, too bad leprechauns aren't IT, right? Because
Right.
fix all my
Yes.
stuff so that never happens again. I feel like it happens a lot more lately, and I'm not too happy about that. But
According to my ancestry, I'm 98.2% British and Irish. I don't know what the like division
wow.
is there.
Distribution. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all the flavorlessness.
so they could call out all of that Britishness and Irishness, but they couldn't say they couldn't divide it up from there, huh? Maybe it goes too far back.
Or perhaps I just didn't actually look
Oh,
at that.
Oh, yeah. Also valid.
that could
I
have been a
just I saw
possibility. too.
the pasty and the salt is spicy and just went, oh. And then look at see, it's I'm in the dark now.
Yes, you
Oh,
are
I'm
in the dark.
depressed. I'm so sad.
You just never know what's going to happen on this show tonight. It's either we have leprechauns that are interfering, or maybe we got gremlins. Gremlins can be green, right?
Can they?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I think they were kind of
gray.
greenish,
Yeah.
grayish in the movie when they turned, into the nasty ones. So
They startled me. So yeah,
I love
that
the
was one.
gremlins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
that
I could have a
came.
whole
I
episode
saw
about
that.
the gremlins.
Oh no, I
Oh yeah.
will
No?
pass on that one. No.
Really? Oh man.
That and It I saw like at the same time.
It I get,
in-
but
in my
gremlins, come
childhood.
on. I mean, it's
Well, because they were so cute, and then they turned very, very scary, and
They
so
did.
it was just too much the other
Whiplash.
way. That I was like, oh no, everything cute is gonna turn terrifying, and it just traumatized me.
clowns, gremlins. Now what?
Oh, clowns were never cute. Don't.
They were never
Okay.
cute.
Fair.
Wow.
Ooh,
Hey Patricia,
thanks.
what's going on? Good to see you.
Hi,
Hello.
Patricia. Thank
Avery
you for
said I
sending
watched.
us luck.
Oh yes, I saw the clover. We actually,
yeah.
I was
We
actually
need
gonna
it,
talk about
clearly.
that. Yeah, I was actually going to talk about that too. Avery says I watched Darby O'Gill today. Yeah, good. I'm glad. I mean, we encouraged you. That's great.
You did your homework too. Very nice.
Yes, exactly. Didn't even ask you to either.
Yeah, for sure.
Andrew says, ironically, Kieran Moore, who played Pony, was actually from Ireland. Oh, that's strange because he's one of the ones that I felt didn't have a very good Irish accent. So I don't know what that was all about.
Was even trying to go for one actually, now that I think about it. I mean,
No.
I don't know. He seemed kind of he had kind of like a normal accent to me. Like everyone else was super clearly Irish like sounding, but
Yeah.
he just kind of sounded like a man.
Yeah.
Just like a man.
Patricia.
I am the man that you're meant to hate. So I'm not going to be Irish because everyone else
Right.
is Irish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sound like a complete, total bag,
Yeah, right.
Maybe he
Muted
scaled it
myself,
back
yeah.
a bit so that the Irishmen weren't so hated.
Maybe.
It could be. I think at the end of the film, everybody wanted to deck him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Leprechaun tech support. How can I help you?
Oh, thank you,
Says.
Patricia. We need it, clearly.
Get rid of them pesky little critters. Now let's talk about St. Patrick's Day and leprechauns in general before we dig more into the movie, because honestly, there's not a lot I knew about St. Patrick's Day except back in the day, they said, "Oh yeah, it's Saint Patrick, and he drove out all the snakes from Ireland," is what they say. It's what I
Mhm.
heard anyway, right?
Hmm.
But when I did, a Google search today to try to find out more about Saint Patrick, who was a saint, that much I knew. But apparently he was the one I think that brought like Christianity to Ireland, and the symbolism of the shamrock, the three-leafed shamrock, not the four-leaf clover, but is what he apparently taught people as a reference to the crucifix for the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, by showing them a three-leaf clover.
Hmm.
So that is the symbolism apparently that we have today for St. Patrick's Day. That is the extent of my knowledge as far as St. Patrick's Day is concerned, other than the fact that we now celebrate it because of it. And mostly it's just to wear green, not get pinched, and drink a lot of beer and have corned beef and cabbage. that's
Right.
me. That's my knowledge. And I think that's enough for me. Do you guys know anything more about St. Patrick's Day that I missed?
No, that was pretty much the extent of what I was told too when I was growing up.
Were you ever told about the snakes? Was that a thing when you were growing up? Yeah.
Feel like maybe.
I'm wondering if
Maybe.
it's more of like a symbolic thing, like the snakes represent evil, and that's why he taught
Right.
Christianity. And I don't know.
I mean,
I
that
don't
would
know.
make sense.
I feel like that's kind of how most stories biblically anyway kind of go is,
Right?
he was a modern day, dog catcher for snakes. But
Hmm.
as it gets told word of mouth, it's like, no, there were hundreds of thousands of snakes and he drove them from Ireland and now there's no snakes in
Right.
Ireland. And you're like, great.
How'd that
What?
happen? Yeah.
So,
Most
I
stories
mean,
talk about like Hawaii, where there was lots of snakes and they brought mongoose in to like, to take care of them. And, turns out there wasn't as many as they thought. And now there's a mongoose population issue in Hawaii. So
Yeah.
like, what do we do? Which would we prefer, a snake or a
I
mongoose?
know. I know. So when you go, Ryan, watch out for the mongoose. They call them Hawaiian chickens, and you'll see them in certain
Hawaiian
places if you go on
chickens.
tours.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I couldn't tell you what type of animal a mongoose even is.
Oh, really? It's
So,
like a
It's
it
kind
kind
of
of looks
like.
like a weasel
Oh yeah. Right. Right.
oh,
Right. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a
That's
ferret,
right.
maybe, kind of ferret
but they
looking.
call him a chicken?
They call them Hawaiian chickens because they're everywhere.
Right.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
At least on the tour that I went on, they called them
Right.
that.
I mean,
Anywho,
Sam
back to the show.
for a ferret, they're cute.
Yeah, they're very
Ferrets
cute.
are adorable. Yeah.
The tour that we went on was it was like one of those island-wide tours. You get on a bus and they show you all the sights. And there's this one place where you go to the shrimp farm, and they farm shrimp there, and they send them out to the restaurants. But they also have like a little shop there where you can actually get fresh shrimp from the little shack that they have there. And every once in a while they take some shrimp from the kitchen and they go out and you can feed them to the animals out there, the mongoose that are out there. So it's a real thing.
So
Hmm.
are they not? They're not mongoose.
I don't know if it's mongoose or mongoose. Like, I'm not sure.
Mongooses.
Because
What
goose and
is
geese, but then
the
moose and moose.
plural
Like
of mongoose?
again, off the rails. I'm so sorry, friends.
Oh, it's mongooses.
It is mongooses.
it's
Oh
not.
wow.
Yes. The search I just popped up says mongooses. Yeah.
Mongooses. That's so funny.
I hate
Yep.
English so much.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And we were
Yep.
just
Yep.
talking about how everybody's accent in the movie was not that great.
Oh, my Lanta. Okay.
my Lanta.
Maybe they're good, maybe they're not good, but they're very charming. I will say that
Are
movie
they?
in
Yeah.
general is just so charming.
They were.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, and then leprechauns. What do you guys know about leprechauns? I mean, there's a lot of different things that I think people, think of them as far as legend is concerned. There's
Mhm.
certain rules that they have. There's certain lore that follows them around everywhere. Like, it's even in our little background there with the pot of gold and the rainbow and all that kind of stuff, and the way that they look too. So, oh my God, Patricia's saying mongoose eye.
Mongoose eye. See, that's what I usually revert to
Mongoosey?
is, I,
Mongoosey.
that's yeah. I usually revert to the eye.
Fair enough.
And Odie's asking Patricia, how many gold coins in a pot of gold? I don't know.
82. I don't know.
Is it a dad
82.
joke?
82, just a random number.
And then
Papa
Andrew's
Odie coming in
saying,
with the dad jokes.
yeah, definitely. There's got to be an answer to that somewhere. Okay, we give up, Dad. What is the answer? How many gold coins are in a pot? Oh, gold. And in the meantime, Andrew's saying, seeing Darby O'Gill as a child on its first re-release, I had the snot scared out of me by the Banshee.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Banshee in a little bit. That's an
Yeah.
interesting
We will.
topic of conversation. He says, now it's my favorite part of the film. I don't know if it's my favorite. I have lots of favorites, actually. And I think the whole plot of the movie where there's all this like trickery happening back and forth between Darby and the King of the Leprechauns, or the King of the Little People, because I don't think they ever call them leprechauns in the movie. I think they just always say
I think they do. I thought they said leprechauns like a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I keyed into that. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
Like maybe towards the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Odie says leprechauns are cousins, so tiny trolls, and I talk to the trolls. Okay, yeah. See you, Dad. We're gonna have to talk about that off the side of this show. Maybe it's time to think about medication.
No.
Medication to make the trolls go away. I know the trolls he's talking about. I'm just messing around. He has these like little tiny troll things that he takes with him up in the mountains, and he takes pictures of them.
Like
and stuff like that.
Like those like doll kind of ones.
Not the 80s trolls that you're thinking of, like from the movie Trolls, with the big pink hair or anything. They're more woodlandy and nostalgic looking, more rustic. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
The ones that live under bridges.
Oh, he was asking Patricia that question because apparently she's the expert. She's the leprechaun tech support. So.
Oh, right. Of course.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Patricia says, friend had a post this morning that said leprechauns are Santa's elves who got caught drinking on duty.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'll take it.
The king drank a lot in the movie.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I don't know how he put it all away and didn't pass out, because he was drinking like big mugs, like human-sized mugs. And he was not
Irish.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, he's a magical creature too. He was like what, 5,000 plus years old or something. They said in the movie. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But also Irish. That's
Irish.
That's
right.
Still. Potatoes
and drinks.
A lot?
Can you drink a lot, Ryan? Or
not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay.
Not
Fair
anymore.
Enough. So leprechauns, the research, what I found out. So I always remembered, like finding a rainbow, you look to the end, it's the pot of gold, and that's supposedly where the leprechaun is. But what I had forgotten, because that lore is kind of what stuck in my brain, is what happened in the movie. Now, in the movie, if you catch a leprechaun, and this is something that I confirmed on my Google search as well, is that when you catch them, you could be granted wishes, but you have to keep looking them in the eye, otherwise they will escape. If you take your eye off the leprechaun, they will escape. But one thing that I think that Darby O'Gill did was Darby had like all these secrets, because he's been around, he's been up to the top of the ruins and everything where they live in the hill. And he's talked to them, and he's grown accustomed to their ways. And he's been thinking about all these different tricks, to try to get what he wants. And he ends up getting 3 wishes at first. But the one thing that I didn't realize, and they may have made it up for the movie, is that after you wish your 3 wishes and they're granted, if you wish a 4th wish, the other 3 wishes go away. That's the thing in the movie. That's kind of like what they did in the beginning. And spoiler alert for anybody who's watching or listening and has not seen it yet, turn it off now. But this movie is so old. Come on, guys.
60-year-old movie.
Exactly. So they do it in the beginning and they do it at the end. And it's kind of the premise that sets up the movie in the beginning for what happens in the end. So should we talk about the ending? Because I'm kind of like, it's like that itch on the roof of my mouth that I can't scratch. And I need to talk to someone about this, because
no, you're good.
So the ending is the part I don't understand the most. The ending is where Darby is pretty much being let go. He's being retired, right? His daughter lives with him in the house on the property that he keeps. You know, he's like the groundskeeper, right? Darby, the groundskeeper. And his daughter just kind of basically takes care of her father. She's really never done anything in her life except for just take care of her father and live on the property. And then here comes Michael. Michael's going to be the one that takes over the property and, you know, takes over Darby's job because he's younger, he's stronger. And near the end, they're about ready. Darby's trying to get all these wishes and trying to get the leprechaun so he can, you know, have a better life for him and his daughter, right? But at the end, the horse escapes, and this is like when they're trying to leave the property, and it goes up the hill towards the ruins. The daughter goes chasing after it, and all of a sudden, and Andrew, if you remember this, or those who have just recently watched it, Avery, there's this banshee that is all of a sudden now at the top of the mountain. Now we did talk about, you know, they did talk about the death of Darby's wife and Katie's mother at one point, but I don't remember if they ever actually talked about how she died. But all of a sudden, part of the story comes in, and Darby's like, "Oh, this is exactly what happened when Katie's mother died. Oh my God, we got to go get her and save her now." Well, something happens. Katie has an accident and gets taken back to the village, and now she's like, you know, on death's bed, on her deathbed, right? And Darby still has one wish to use. And the carriage, this carriage that you know, is like a death carriage, kind of like death coming to take your soul away, comes for Katie, and Darby sees it. Now, while he sees this, of course, after the banshee comes down from the hill and starts fighting Darby, and Darby's fighting it with a shovel. I'm like, what is going on here? I mean, like, I think
a perfect weapon.
The writers lost their mind, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway, Darby makes his third wish. And he's like, you know, take me instead. You know, he sacrifices himself for his daughter. Very noble, very kind.
Snaps the dad.
I know, exactly. And then the Leprechaun King pops up in the carriage with Darby as he's getting ready to be taken off to the underworld or whatever the afterlife is out there, right? And the Leprechaun gets him, or the king gets him to make a fourth wish. And then all of a sudden, poof, everything's gone. Like all the previous wishes are gone, and Katie's alive and she's doing well. She's on the mend. She was already getting on the mend as soon as he got into the carriage. But I thought that when he makes the fourth wish, including Katie getting better, him taking her place, that everything just goes away. So why didn't it undo like it did from the last time? That's what I'm like tripping over.
Well, let me see. The way I read it was in the very beginning, he's got King Brian with him and he's like making all these wishes, and I didn't really read Darby as like very greedy, but like in the beginning he's definitely using his wishes for more like greedy purposes. Like I forget what the first two wishes he makes are, but like the third one is like the classic pot of gold, and then he makes the fourth wish, and then King Brian's like, aha, I one-upped you, everything's going away. And so that's like establishing both King Brian and Darby's like intellectual battle throughout the entire film with like you know, whatever.
Which is
their adversaries, right?
My favorite part of the film is their banter back and forth.
Yeah,
even the song battle that they did with the rhymes. Loved that.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Beautiful.
So funny together.
Yeah, they were funny too, for sure.
I was cracking up during that entire scene. That's also when King Brian was like drinking all the whiskey or whatever it was, and just getting.
Did they say poutine?
Hammered.
I don't think poutine's right. Is it?
No.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. But Darby said he got it from the bog or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember. I remember it starting with a P. I don't remember what it was.
Poutine, as far as I know, is like it's a Canadian dish with potatoes, meat, and
right. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not sure why.
It's potatoes. It's French fries, gravy, cheese curds. Delicious.
Some kind of like whiskey from potatoes or something. Who knows?
I'm not sure.
Many things come from potatoes.
Anyway, please continue.
Right. But so again, at the beginning, Darby makes his three wishes, and he makes the fourth one. And then King Brian's like, ahaha, I'm gonna teach you a lesson because you can't make four wishes, everything goes away. But then, towards the end with the whole like Banshee thing, like King Brian sees that Darby is willing to like sacrifice himself
Yeah.
to the death carriage in place of Katie. So, he's already accepting his fate and like going to the afterlife in the coach, and King Brian comes in, and then he's like, "Oh, you were a great adversary, blah blah blah, like yada yada." And so I think the way I read the ending was King Brian saw that Darby actually can be or can make like selfless wishes,
Yeah.
right? So because he made the ultimate sacrifice, King Brian wanted to trick him into making the fourth wish so that he could like save him, because King Brian
So
stays
you
in the
think it was like
coach.
an act of like selflessness, like on King Brian's part, like he's just like,
Like
okay,
he
you're my
knew how
friend.
to,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
do this to
Yeah,
you. I'll
kind
save
of,
you.
he knew
because
how to kind of undo everything.
Right, because
Okay.
Darby chose to give his own life for Katie, using his wish. King Brian wanted to reward him with his cleverness and like his like
Yeah.
selflessness by getting him a way to undo everything. And so I think I don't think it's like a true undoing of everything like you said. I
Yeah.
think King Brian still, you know, used his magic basically um to bring everything back to normal, but not like in a bad way. Basically, he
Keep all the
wanted
good,
to
but
again
take
he
the
wanted
bad.
to reward Darby for his actions,
Yeah.
or his big action, I guess, rather. And so he was like, "You deserve a happy ending. Here you go. Katie's fine again. She likes Michael now. You're all like you got the happy ending that you
Right.
deserve." So,
Yeah.
Exactly. Now I can
hmm
accept that, and I was probably overthinking it myself. But I started going into like Back to the Future theories, like you can't
uh,
like reset your past because once you go into the future, or no, once you go into the past, that becomes
new
your new
future.
Your new
future,
future.
yeah,
Yeah,
and all that. The whole Incredible Hulk thing that they talked about in the was it in game, I think,
yeah,
or
Endgame. That's
yeah,
One of
right.
hmm
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
that blew my mind. By the way,
Yeah.
I will continue
It's
to
too
say
much.
that
quantum physics and
it
things like
is.
that. It's
It's
just,
way
it's
too
too much
much.
for movies.
Right, for sure.
um okay, well, thanks for your lending your theory on that, Ben, because I mean honestly
hmm
that is a great answer, because I can subscribe to that and I can believe it, because you could tell, like, from the beginning, even from the beginning of the movie, you can tell that even though they were kind of like, they seemed like they were nemesis to each other.
Nemesis.
They nemesis, okay, here we go again with the plurality of
I got
they
you.
were they were buddies, they had a history. And
Yeah.
even though the king was like, "Oh, I'm angry at you," and blah blah blah, it's like, well, it's like when you get angry at a friend, do you stay angry at him for long? No, you just kind of like make up
Right.
and you start over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that was a lot
exactly.
of what happened in this movie, which was really great. Now, Andrew is in the comments saying a wonderful thing about this movie, which is another thing that I really, really, really enjoyed, was the forced perspective in the camera effects. That he says it nearly shut down production. So much light was needed to make the huge background set match the foreground that it caused power outages. I can
Dang.
believe that. Every scene shot in this movie, well, almost I'd say probably like 90% of the movie, for its time, I was wowing about
Yeah.
how well they did the perspective from the big people and the little people. It was
hmm
incredible for its time. 1959.
59. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm completely making this up out of my brain or if I read this somewhere, but I thought that they had made like duplicate sets. So like you have the one set where it matches the scale of regular size humans, and then you have the bigger scale set that would that
Oh,
would
you
make
must.
normal people look like
Yeah.
super super tiny, or like, and hopefully it doesn't sound really bad when I say that, but but
There's,
but yeah, but I mean,
there's,
again, like the camera trickery and like
yeah.
the two differently scaled sets together, and the way they like edited that together, especially with like a lot of like moving parts, like that was so
Yeah.
incredible. Like, and the practicality of it all too was so nice.
Yep.
There's a part where he like tries to, King Brian is trying to wake up Sean Connery, Michael,
Yeah.
In his
And
dreams, yeah.
yeah, like
Mhm.
you see him kind of at a distance. You see them both in the scene, and
Mhm.
then you see King Brian like holding a candlestick like that. He's clearly holding an actual thing that's
Oh,
built
yeah,
to
yeah.
scale for him as
Mhm.
a normal sized human person.
Yeah.
But in the faraway scene, he's still near the candlestick. So I mean, yeah, again, for the time, they're zapping things and they're,
Oh,
creating
lightning
pots
effects and
of gold.
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Mhm.
exactly.
mean,
Making stuff flying across rooms and everything. It
Yeah.
was really, really, and even like the rock wall that opened up when they were doing the fox hunt, thing, and it just like completely opened up and then
yeah,
it went
Yeah.
back, and like that was brilliant. I mean, for its time, excellent,
yeah.
excellent special effects.
Yes,
It
for
was
Um,
sure.
very reminiscent for me, one of my favorite movies of Bedazzled, if you guys have seen it with Brendan Fraser,
I
Elizabeth
love that
Hurley.
movie.
Oh my god, it's amazing. But that's sort of what happens at the end of that one too, is that he sacrifices his third wish and is like,
Hmm.
I want so and so to be happy and yada yada. And she's like, ugh, great, whatever.
Right.
And then everything is kind of undone because of this self-sacrifice. And so I that was kind of what it brought me back to, is like, oh right, he sacrifices himself, like, take me, not my daughter, like she's got her life to live. And so he's like, I know how to undo this,
Yeah.
but also I have the power, because my little leprechaunness or little
Mhm.
peopleness, to still keep some of the good stuff, which then brought me back to, I don't know if you guys have seen it, the oh my god, um Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, like that trilogy.
Oh,
I
no,
saw
not
the
really.
first two. I haven't seen the third one, and it's been forever.
So in the second one, or I guess at the end of the first one, they do like the obliviate, where like you erase memories, right?
Right.
That charm. And then in the second one, the Muggle person is like, it only erases bad memories. I didn't have any bad memories, so I remember everything. Kind of like,
Oh.
in a magical way, you can keep all the good stuff, but all the bad goes away.
Way
So
to change the
he's
rules.
fine, he's fine. Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But
I've
that
heard.
was kind of like the things that combined for me, that I was like, oh, we're taking little pieces from Darby O'Gill for,
Yeah, I was
we're
Right,
using
watching.
right.
it now.
I'm rewatching Deadpool Wolverine right now, and there's
Mhm.
just certain parts. There was like one particular scene where they just they do something like that, where they pivot the story just a tiny bit, but they don't explain it. And Ryan Reynolds, being the Deadpool that he is, breaks the fourth wall again. He's like, "Well, that's just bad writing."
Oh, right.
I can break the fourth wall too. The proposal.
The
The
proposal.
proposal. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Because
That
he
that
was
joke
he
got
was
a
in that one, right?
lot.
Him and Sandra Bullock. Is that
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right.
That's a joke. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
My God.
Avery, the answer, and I had to do the math, is 67 years old. It is the movie is 67 years old. It was made in 1959.
Yeah, it released in
59, yeah.
'59. That's right. Same year as Sleeping Beauty. So.
Oh wow,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
good
yeah,
call
yeah.
out.
There she is.
Andrew's saying nearly all of those shots were done in camera. Darby was placed in the foreground near the camera. The leprechauns were across the studio away from the camera. Yeah, so it was all one shot. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
transposed onto each other. It was
Hmm.
just, like you said, forced perspective. You have a close-up shot and a far-away shot. And it just blended all together very well. But I mean, that's what he's saying, like, because I think in order to get those kind of shots, the lighting has to be the same for both.
Yeah.
And that's probably what was breaking the set. The same technique was used years later for Lord of the Rings and Elf.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep, that makes sense too.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And Andrew
cool.
has a question for you, Ryan. Have you ever seen the original Bedazzled from 1967 starring Dudley Moore and Peter Cook?
I have not. I didn't even know it was
Yep.
a remake. Shame on me.
I
I will
have
Google
seen
where
it.
I can watch the original.
Yeah, Andrew, I have to say that I think I actually do like the remake better. But it's probably just because I never saw the original until after I saw the one with Brendan Fraser and Frazier, and oh my God, Ryan, what's her name?
Elizabeth Hurley.
Thank you, Vanessa, the fembot. Yeah,
Vanessa, yes, the original. Well, I guess not the original Fembot, but
right.
yes.
All right. So, gosh, man, we talked about the wishes. We talked about the movies. That's really about all I got. Do you guys have anything else that you enjoyed from the movie that you just really have to call out? I had to talk about the ending because it was just something that was bugging me.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
I'm
mean,
glad
I
we
was
squashed that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the ending too. I did feel a tonal shift when the Banshee got introduced.
Yeah.
So like
Right?
I get where you're coming from, Jason, but like I know why it's there because they had to set up the moral horizon. I don't know, whatever.
Sure.
They had to introduce the denouement
Right.
of Darby's character arc. So I get that, but um, it felt because like a lot of older films, which is something I really appreciate about really older films, is like nowadays and like a few decades ago, whatever, like everything has got to be like action, action, action. Everything's got to be plot, plot, plot. But like all these like classic films from like the I'm blanking on the term, but like all these classic films, they're just like slice of life. That's pretty much most of them, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like there's no, like obviously they all have plots and stuff too, but like it feels more. It feels like it takes a back seat to like just the drama and the characters and the dialogue and stuff like that. And they're just people living their lives, and that's what was interesting to people back then.
I
And
think
I don't
that's
know,
what
just
threw
got the
me
show into
off.
it.
I think that's what
Yeah.
threw me off too, is because I mean, it was telling an amazing story, and there was like so many of these like
Yeah.
real life moments, except for obviously the little people, which was
Right.
fantastical. But
Yeah.
you believed them because of how good the effects were, and because of how cool the relationship was between King Brian and Darby,
Mm-hmm.
It
and you just
fit.
kind of forgot about everything else, right?
Yeah.
And then all
Right.
of a sudden it slaps you and it says, no, we're going to
It's
start
Banshee.
throwing in like fantastical creatures here,
Right.
a death carriage and a banshee that's going to kill your daughter. Now I do kind of get a little bit of those things because, and they did kind of set it up a little bit, because when King Brian said that if you don't make your third wish after a certain time or something like that, that's when all the creatures start coming out. And he's like, I have to do my job. It's part of the rules, right?
Oh.
Mhm.
But the
Yeah,
the
that's
time,
right.
I don't think the time had expired yet. I don't think it had.
I think by the time he makes his third wish, it had been the 2 weeks that they
Had
talked
it?
about. Yeah, I think so. Because I think the day before, because I remember the scene, like he was like, "Oh, the bell, like the music of the bells, the church, like blah blah blah." That was
Oh.
the Sunday, and then the
Mhm.
next day was the Monday 2 weeks later. So that was the day I think that
Okay.
that
Yeah.
Katie went to the hill. So.
Yeah, we don't get
Oh,
like
and
a
that's,
full-on countdown, but
Hmm.
yeah.
yeah. I think you're
Yeah.
supposed to kind of assume.
I,
Yeah,
I kind of
but
got lost in it because I was
yeah.
working late, and I had to have that on in the background a little bit and also do my job at the same time. So
No, you're good. You're
it
good. But
is very
yeah,
possible I missed that little
it
factoid.
well, because it's easy to miss. Like they established in the beginning, like, oh, Darby, you gotta leave in a fortnight, and then King Brian's like, oh my, you need to make the wishes within a fortnight. So it just
Yeah.
Or else.
coincidentally, right? Exactly. They're the same time frame, but so spread apart in in the film that you just kind of gloss over it. So.
It feels like they kind of did that a lot in this era of Disney films where things were so, I don't want to say like they didn't blend together well, but it was very like Mary Poppins, like you have like full on people and then it's like, oh, hey, hi, we're in this animated world and we're playing this, we're like on a carousel and doing all of these things.
Right.
Or even Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, where they,
Mm.
again, go to this like
Mm-hmm.
fanciful world and play this amazing, wonderful soccer game. And then at the end, she like has to use magic in the real world to make these pieces of armor come to
Oh
life
yeah.
and fight
Oh yeah.
Nazis.
Yeah, that's right. She like leads an
Like,
army. She's like, "Fight, my soldiers!"
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a little like, oh, okay, like how the juxtaposition of
Hmm.
like it's this wonderful fanciful movie and then like but these are real life consequences. That's
Right.
what it kind of felt like when we were going from like, oh, super fun little people and gold and playing the little fiddle and having a good party time. Banshee. Like,
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like suddenly you had to remember that there had to be stakes, and like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it felt
that's
like.
fair. That's fair.
Like, oh,
No,
we gotta
stakes
wrap
are for
this up
vampires,
somehow.
Ben. Stakes are for
uh,
vampires. Okay.
yes,
It's
of
for
course. What
vampires.
was I thinking?
But they do not sparkle. Vampires do
No.
not sparkle.
No, they do not. Thank you. Thank you. I could have a whole discussion about vampire movies.
I will
Thank you very
die
much. I
on this
appreciate it.
hill.
You know, I'm surprised because are you not a fan of Twilight movies or just the concept of the sparkling vampire? Is that really the only thing you don't like about it?
Can I tell you a really funny story?
Yeah, of course you can. Like, what am I going to say? No. That's the end of
Maybe
our
no.
show.
Thanks, folks.
Right.
New Year's Eve 2024, so into 2025, I, for the very first time in my life, watched the Twilight series by myself.
Mm-hmm. All of them?
All of them, just
All
back
of them.
back
Okay.
to back. Because I
Okay.
think they were on like Hulu or something, Peacock,
Something.
something.
Right. Like, yeah. Gotcha.
I have never laughed so hard in my entire life. And I'm a talker, as you guys can figure out. I was by myself in my home, New Year's Eve, 2024, December 31st, 2024, just watching the Twilight series from start to finish, laughing hysterically and just commentating to myself and texting my husband who's at work. Like, I'm also like live tweeting essentially, but not on Twitter. I think it was like Instagram, just like, what is this baby? Oh my God. Like, what is happening? It's the funniest series that is not a comedy that I have ever watched in my entire life. And vampires do not sparkle.
So I think you and I officially became really good friends. We've upped our level today from just friends. It was co-host and then friends, and now we're like really good friends because I feel 100% on board with what you just said. Although I can't say it too much to Lisa because she gets upset, and I wouldn't. She loves the series. She owns the series. We have it on digital. I'm pretty sure we have it on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever.
It's so ridiculous.
I just don't. I'm kind of on the same page. So.
Like even just now, I'm just like getting the giggle.
Like I heard the books are worse somehow. I don't know.
Somehow.
I could be wrong.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to say that because I'm like, she worked so hard and she made this series, and I don't want to say you're a bad writer, but like, yes. See, it's just what? Oh my God, what is the movie? I'm forgetting. With James Marsden and Amy Adams and
Enchanted?
Yes, where she's like, don't be melodramatic, and he's like, I don't know what melodramatic means. I feel like it is like that is what it is. It's just sheer.
But only
melodrama.
they were taking it seriously in Twilight.
Exactly.
They were taking it seriously, but it was still funny because it was that level of seriousness.
Like,
I must protect
I
Bella.
can't. So now that's my yearly New Year's Eve ritual.
Oh, to watch all
is
the
it
movies?
Really? And laugh at it? Oh my God. We should set up
It's
like a watch
great.
party.
So
we need to set up a watch party. That's great.
Sorry.
I mean,
I'm just gonna go into a giggle fit now.
Hey, at least those
Saint
movies got
Vampires Day,
made.
everybody.
those movies got made, so they must have been doing something right.
They did, and they were. I think
that means you too at home can make something and like have it be a movie.
That's right.
You
Even
can
if it's sparkling
too.
vampires.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Andrew's got a couple final comments here, and I think we're going to end up closing because we've already hopped off the rails and went into the train yard here. Ryan is sweating because she's laughing so hard. He says, now we're going back to Darby O'Gill. He's like, although it was considered a bit of a classic at the time, Darby O'Gill was not a huge hit when it first released. I don't. That's interesting because I really liked it. Although maybe they felt the same way about the ending with the banshee and the carriage and everything.
Maybe. That sounds like Alice in Wonderland too. Like the original cartoon version wasn't a hit until like much later.
Oh wow!
I watched the trailer, and I don't know who. After watching the movie, and then I was like, "Ooh, let me watch the trailer." I don't know who they made the movie for, and then I surely don't know who they made the trailer for because the trailer is just a hodgepodge of randomness.
Just a mess. Yeah,
I've seen. This doesn't even feel like what the movie's about.
Right. Andrew says, interestingly, the film won only one award. Janet Monroe, who played Katie, thank you. I had to keep going back to my reference sheet here. Got a Golden Globe for Best Newcomer Female. And I think her bangs got another award for something else, too. Because that god-awful haircut, I couldn't get my eyes off of it. I mean, I was riffing on that the entire time in my office alone. I'm like, wow.
As
who
I
the
did with
hell
Twilight.
thought
My
of this?
standards must be really low because that didn't bother me at all.
This is what my wife and I do sometimes when we see movies that we're just like, we just start getting disconnected. It's like, who the hell chose her top? How did they wake up this morning and say, yep, that looks good? You know, things like that. We just riff on it all the time. And
Same.
Andrew, even though he and I have never seen a movie together, I don't think we used to riff on stuff like that all the time. So it's just too much fun not to.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Final comments here. Patricia said she worked at a theater working at a theater for first Twilight. A good portion of people did laugh at the sparkly vampire moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I was
We're
laughing in
among
my
friends
head.
then.
Yeah, I was laughing in my head. If I laughed out loud, I probably would have gotten punched by the people sitting next to me. So,
See, that's why
and
you should have
Andrew
watched it at
says,
your house.
Andrew says my wife and daughter still haven't forgiven me. Yeah, I think Lisa's still mad at me for riffing on it too. But hey, you know what? She's hanging around for a reason. So, despite all my Twilight bagging, so. Well, hey guys, thanks for sticking around with us on another fun-filled episode of Main Gate Main Gate Leopard. Main Gate Magic. Starting to sound like Porky Pig here.
What have we done?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. We have a really special surprise coming for you next Tuesday. For those of you who have been with us long enough in our almost 2.5 years now, getting close to 2.5 years, one of my original co-hosts, Mimi, she had to take some time off because, she got to do the single mom thing. Well, speaking of single mom, she went on a cruise and also a Florida trip to some of the Disney parks with her mom and her daughter. And she's going to be coming back for a special episode next Tuesday to talk all about the experiences and the magical journeys of going on a cruise with the wondrous eyes of not a new child. I mean, I think she's like 7 or 8 years old, but still. She's adorable, and I've never met her daughter before, but she is so awesomely cute. And her name is Wendy, named after Wendy Darling from the Peter Pan novel. So anyway, she's going to be on the show. She will be talking about her amazing adventures in Florida and also, I think, in the Caribbean is where they're going to. So she'll be back. I'm hoping it's going to be more of a permanent thing because I miss her so much on the show. And then I think for the 31st, we've got an open topic for that. I'm thinking we need to do a wild card. We need to jump off script. We need to go off the page, and we need to do something outside of the Disney universe. So if you guys have any suggestions of stuff you want to hear about, let's veer away from horror films because there's certain stuff that our certain co-hosts Ryan can't really watch or get scared about.
Ryan says he doesn't watch horror either.
Ryan catching strays. Throw me under the bus too. Why don't you?
I'll throw you. Okay, so Ryan, Ben, sorry. Okay. You feel better? Yeah, my cold's getting worse or better when I mention your name. Yeah, so if you guys have, like anything like outside of the Disney, like you could talk like, you can even stick with animated stuff and do like Despicable Me, or we could do Shrek or something. If you guys got a suggestion, drop it in our social media comments. I might even make a post about it and say, hey, suggest our next topic for the 31st. But in the meantime, thanks for sticking around with us and talking about the luck of the Irish and Darby O'Gill and the Little People and all things green. Ryan and Ben, thanks for contributing tonight and opening my eyes to the ending of a wonderful movie. It was fun. It was a good movie in general.
It's a great watch.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
Have a safe and wonderful rest of your week, guys, and we will see you next Tuesday. Hope you tune in. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another fun-filled episode of Main Gate Magic. We hope you enjoyed the show. It's been our pleasure bringing a little Disney magic into your life. Please remain seated while the show comes to a complete stop, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. For more information about upcoming episodes, please make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You are now free to exit the show. Please watch your step. And be sure to tune in next week for more Main Gate Magic. Bye-bye.